This video is a detailed version of the manual punches walkthrough. Hi, my name is Jamie, your host here for customer service at XPunch. And today I would like to really show you the difference between members who are able to do a manual punch versus those that cannot. This is important because it was perhaps the number one feature that was requested by our testers during the beta testing phase. And during the beta testing phase, there was no capacity for a manager to be able to decide that their members could not edit their hours. And so we've added that functionality in, and we're very happy to be able to show you this today. So let's go ahead and we're going to open up a group called the Softex Hotel in our demonstration account here. And it's all about roles and assigning members to a role. So as you may or may not know, members must be assigned to a role. And we see here that Xander is assigned to a role called limited. So let's just start from scratch and create a role. And we're going to create two roles. I'll do these in front of you. The first one will be full-time worker, and the second one will be a part-time worker, with the ideology that we trust our full-time workers to be able to edit their hours versus the part-time ones who maybe don't know what they're doing yet. And so we're going to ask them to consult with their manager if they need to edit their hours. So I'll create those two roles for you now. And if we just double check, I click here and we see that full-time workers can indeed punch manually versus part-time workers that cannot. And so with my test member here, we're just going to go and see what effect that has on the person. So I'm logged in right now as Jamie, and I'm going to change this assignment, this role assignment, from limited to part-time worker. So you'll recall that that means that this person cannot perform manual punches. The person will not be able to edit their hours. And now we're going to go into Xander's account. All right, so my name is Xander now. And if I go and select this fast action button, it's called, we'll see that I only have one option here, and that's to punch in. Okay, so let's go ahead and punch into something here. Let's say I am working in the kitchen. So I punch into that task. Here it is here. And we'll let a little time lapse pass here and then revisit our accounts. I'll just hit the refresh button and we'll see that some time has gone by. And now let's take a look at the options that we have. We can either immediately leave the punch, we can punch out and maybe add some notes or a subject to the punch as we punch out live. Or we can do what I call a switch punch, which is where we punch out of this current punch that we're in right now and start a new one. So let's just choose the express out. So now I'm punched out of this punch here. And let's take a close look at this punch to see what we have. We see that I was working in a task called kitchen for 43 minutes for a client called the Softex, a project called Softex Sushi Restaurant. So let's see what the employee or the member or the worker can do with this. So if I hit the edit button, we'll see that nowhere am I able to modify the time. I can, however, add a new subject, and I can also add some note. And I hit the update button, and those will be added. Let me see them here. And so we see that an employee is really restricted in what they're able to do when they have not received a can do manual punches role. So now I'm going to sign back in as the manager. All right, so here I am, Jamie, and we can actually see Xander's punches that we did earlier. So Xander, if they wanted to, they could come to me if they needed to edit this time. Let's say it was actually 5:30 that they punched out. We can see that I have the correct permission set of can edit punches, can edit members, and so I'm able to modify that person's time. But what I'm going to do now is return to members, select Xander, and modify Xander's role from part-time worker to full-time worker. And you'll recall that earlier the full-time worker role does indeed have that can punch manually option enabled. So I'm going to log out of this account and let's go see what Xander can do now. So once again, I'm in Xander's shoes, and we'll see that now this wasn't here before, this additional fast action button, the create button. So this allows me to create punches in the past. And if I click on an existing punch, and if I edit it, we can see that Xander can actually edit their punches. So we'll return that back to the way it was, 5:35, and there we have it. So we can see clearly that someone with the can perform manual punches role is able to go and modify their hours versus someone that cannot. So this was a rather detailed video of how you can go about enabling your members to edit their hours or not edit their hours depending on how you would like it. And this is something that can be done at the member level. So you can have some of your members not able to perform manual punches and others that can. And you can also have people who are enabled with a permission set that allows them to edit other people's hours. So these typically would be people like managers. So if I log back in as a manager as Jamie here and I go to the configuration section and I take a look at the permission sets, let's take a look at the manager permission set. We'll see that the manager has this here enabled, can manage punches. And so what that does is that allows someone with that permission set to be able to go and edit the hours of other people other than themselves as required. So I invite you to visit our knowledge base if you have any questions right here at this address. Any questions about XPunch, and you can just search for them here in the search field or visit any of our sections here, or you could fill out a ticket and contact us.